Hey, everybody. Welcome to Banter, the sports podcast with the College Juice podcast. Welcome, everybody.
Beer cheese.
I mean, it's becoming a kind of a regular thing here.
Yeah,
As long as
classic beer juice.
Hey, Trey, can you just not shred paper right by your microphone? Thank you.
Am I doing it again?
My Lord.
Oopsie.
My Lord. Oh.
There you go.
I need a mute mic button, maybe.
Yeah.
Yeah, whoever the host is, I think you can. You got
Yeah.
the ability to mute.
I know.
Last week you said it sounded like I was writing in Morse code or something.
Oh my gosh, yeah. Dude, tapping on the table all the time. And it was like, well, I don't know who we're communicating to, but they could totally hear us.
All right. So we got an NFL draft recap episode here. We're going to use some, and if I say this word wrong, correct me, please, superlatives. Is that the right way to say it? All right.
Superlatives.
Superlatives.
Mhm.
Yep.
Superlatives. I like it. So yeah, we're going to kind of go through that. We'll recap some draft stuff and then finish things off with a little bit of Kentucky Derby picks and have some fun here. Trying to, again, keep baseball at bay just because it is a long season. And I know that some of us, suck at gambling.
Me.
Yep. April in baseball can kiss my ass.
Holy hell.
It's awful.
Great. God.
Yeah.
It's brutal.
So yeah, we'll come back to that maybe next week. But so let's get into it. If you guys are cool, we'll kind of start just up across, and we'll go biggest impact player from the draft in you guys' opinions. Kev, who'd you got biggest impact?
Biggest impact, I think, providing he stays healthy because he dropped because of his health. I think it's Josh Simmons, the tackle out of Ohio State that went to Kansas City. Kind of solidifies their O-line. Before this college season, a lot of people thought he'd be the first tackle off the board come draft time. But obviously, like I said, injuries kind of sidelined that and had him drop. Now you get to go to KC with all that success.
Yeah.
Seriously, like what a place to drop to.
Yeah, you just won a national title, even though you weren't on the field because you were hurt. But
It was a leg injury, correct?
Yeah, his knee.
Yeah.
Okay. I think I was reading some up on that.
Yeah.
They said it shouldn't be an issue.
Yeah. Like I said, before the season started, a lot of people thought he would go basically where I get his name wrong now. The tackle at LSU.
Will
they
Campbell.
thought he'd go to wherever the Patriots were going to draft because everybody knows they needed a tackle. So
Absolutely. Steve, what do you think? Biggest impact?
Oh, this is easy, man. Real easy, man. Ashton Genty. Real easy.
Damn.
Listen, Pete Carroll. It falls into the framework of how Pete Carroll is going to build a team.
Yeah.
We needed a running back terribly. We missed Josh Jacobs like the water, like the sand missed the whatever that song goes.
Like the desert missed the wind.
Yeah, there you go. I was playing a tune in my head and I couldn't remember it. I was like the dirt, something that missed the water.
Doesn't miss the wind.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I thought we were on a horse with no name. I don't know. I was kind of confused there by this.
But yeah, that is my biggest impact. I think he'll translate well. He can run. He can catch out the backfield. Big part of that offense because we don't want Geno throwing 35 plus passes a game. That's a recipe for disaster. But if we can hold it down to 30 at the most, and Genty getting his carries, I think we're good to go.
So it's safe to say that horse does have a name, and it's Ashton Genty.
Absolutely.
Damn right.
That was my biggest impact player too. I think just right away, like he doesn't have to prove himself. Running back is fairly simple when it comes to translating to the NFL, in my opinion. But yeah, I mean, he's going to come in there and he's going to get 20 carries a game and hopefully positively impact that offense because you're right, they do desperately need it, Steve.
Yeah. I'm also just, I mean, I know we texted him too, but like the fact the Raiders now, I think the last 2 years have picked a good pick in the first round.
Yeah.
It's like, what the hell are they doing? Different Raiders team here,
Free to watch. You asked Kev. I was just like, man, oh,
Somebody's no longer with the team. That's why.
right? Yeah. Trent, who you got biggest impact?
Make that threes crowd, because I also and I'm just going to go ahead and jump ahead of it and say best player as well.
Ooh. Hold on. You double dipped?
Damn right I
Jeez.
did. Damn right I did.
Man, I made sure I had 9
Let
different ones.
let Steve and I have at least our moment, because it has been a terrible life of a Raiders fan, my entire life. Okay, since I was 11, we made the playoffs twice. Okay, and the one year Derek Carr broke his ankle Christmas Eve night against the Colts, and it was just like, oh, I'm not celebrating that crap. I don't know, I got just balloons showing up, but what the hell? Like, so I mean, you said it. It was not just this year. The reason I think it was different from last year with the Brock Bowers pick was last year it was like, okay, best available. Didn't really need a tight end, so people were going to question the Raiders, but they're not questioning shit now after what Brock did. If Jaden Daniels doesn't do what Jaden Daniels did, I mean, in other words, if they wouldn't have made the playoffs, Brock Bowers was Offensive Rookie of the Year. Broke how many records? But I think this year it was not just best player. It was also a dire need. They were like, if not second to last in all rushing categories. So, and you said it just like I stated to these guys last week, was Pete Carroll loves to run the football. And I know, well, what about the Super Bowl? You know, shit, that's not Pete Carroll making that call. All right. It was the offensive coordinator, whatever, damn OCs. But
Can't believe that.
But no, I'm ecstatic. I'm sitting like, I didn't think he was going to make it to us because all the talk of the Bears jumping up to 5. But then once I saw Jags traded up, I'm like, I don't think Cleveland's going to trade back again. Like, that'd be pretty crazy. And that'd be really far back, going from 2 all the way back to 10. And you're right. 2 years of where I like, after round 1, I'm like, am I supposed to feel this way? I don't know. So
I mixed up a little bit here. I kind of went more the same route as Kev with an offensive tackle here. I did go with Will Campbell, and I'll start with a quote. I'm going to fight and die to protect them with everything I got. And I'll tell you what, that is a Vrabel guy through and through. If you watch that interview where he was like tears and everything, and everybody's cheering him on, and then she's like, "Oh, what are you gonna do?" And he's like, "I will fight and die to protect them." And I'm like, "Oh my god." Like, that's not a guy you want to fuck with.
Right.
So I think Will Campbell has potential. I mean, you got to protect the franchise. Obviously, they're riding with Drake May now that they got rid of Joe Milton too. So there's less of a distraction at the quarterback position. So I think Will Campbell's going to step in and kind of show him what he's got there at offensive tackle. I like that pick. So, and I'm not gonna lie, that interview is what sold me on him. Pre-draft, I was like, oh yeah, he's good. I thought the guy from Missouri would have gone before him, but after watching the interview and stuff and seeing him, like, he is locked in for sure. So, all right, best player. Who we got? Trey, who you got? Best player.
Oh boy, best player. That's a tough one. I mean, it could go one or two ways, because I think this guy is also going to be the most NFL ready. But Abdul Carter, I just think he's, like I said, going to have an impact right away. I think he's got the talent of NFL players that he comparatively at his position at edge rusher. So that to me is just the best guy in this draft. If the Titans or the Jags or the Browns needed an edge rusher, I think he would have been one of those picks for sure.
Okay. Interesting. Steve, who you got best player?
I went Cam Ward, number 1 overall. Best quarterback. Not getting the shine he deserved during the draft. All we hear about is where Shador was landing, and he's not even the first guy that was picked. And yeah, I gotta shout him out, man. I mean, a guy who was playing at what is this? It was was 0-star.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Yeah.
Recruit, played FCS. The
Incarnate Word. Incarnate Word.
Word. Oh, what was that? This is San Antonio, right?
Yeah,
I think
Texas.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah, I mean, going that track and then, I mean, being a Heisman finalist and ending up in Miami, such a huge program, and then going number 1 overall. I mean, I think he's the only thing that like scares me is it's going to be a situation because his team is not going to be great. So it's going to be like, oh, is he really that good? But it's like, well,
Right.
be real. Like the guy makes plays. He takes some risk. So I do expect some interceptions out there, some games. But for all those interceptions, I think he will make some amazing plays.
Yeah.
Some seat of your pants, backyard type style of football. And it's gonna be fun. He's gonna be fun to watch, and I love that.
I think to touch on that, like, yeah, you mentioned about like Shador kind of getting the spotlight because of how far he fell and everything, and nobody really talking about Cam Ward. That's almost best case scenario from a motivational standpoint of, always talk about like, okay, Aaron Rodgers came in with a chip on his shoulder. Some of these quarterbacks that like don't get the notoriety. I almost feel like Cam Ward might have that chip because it's like, hey, listen, I was the number 1 pick. Like, that's something to say, and nobody's sitting around talking about it. You're right in the sense of like his team's going to be, they'll be all right. I think the dude's amazing. Like, he's got a cannon for an arm. Watching some of his interviews and stuff, and even I don't know if you guys saw the interaction with him and Shador, which cracked me up because it's like you want to talk about a guy that's focused on just football and a guy that's focused on, hey, money, fame, fortune, and everything else, and football. Like, Cam Ward is like, I'm a football player. Like, people search for Cam Ward, they're going to look at American football player.
Right.
So I love the guy. So I hope best for him and the Titans, but like
I mean, and Warren Moon said, gave him the
Dude,
okay and handed
gave
him
the one.
number,
Hell
bro.
yeah.
Like, come on, man. Like,
yeah,
this kid's on the right track, man. So
yeah,
I look forward to watching him play.
absolutely.
Hey, on the flip side of that, what do you guys like? I thought that was cool, Warren Moon, but didn't you think it was kind of messed up? Is it messed up, or is it like just like, it's whatever? With Lawrence Taylor saying Carter, Trey's pick, to say, nah, you're not wearing 56, dude.
I don't think it's messed up.
I think Lawrence Taylor's the dick.
I mean, dude.
I
mean, if your notoriety is obviously you were a good player at that time, but also like notorious drug user. Man, you just gotta sit this one out and not try to take this like you make your own number great. And it's like, I'm not asking you because I want to be you. I just that's my number. You know what I mean?
Right.
So
right. Yep, I agree. Kev, who you got best player?
I thought he'd be set already, but I guess not. I mean, Travis Hunter was the best player in college football. Now, will he be the best player in the NFL out of this class? As soon as he decides to choose one side of the ball or the other, he might be.
You think so? You think that's going to play a determining factor?
Yeah, but however many years he decides to play both sides, he's going to be mediocre at best. It's too hard, in my opinion.
I think he's going to be a wide receiver, and he'll play cornerback when it's this, like,
special packages.
Yeah, like it's. I don't think he's gonna
third
really
and long.
play. Yeah, I don't think it's gonna be a regular thing. It's gonna be more of a, oh shit, he's out there, and like, oh cool, but it's maybe, I would guess, 5 plays at the most a game, if that.
Okay. I mean, if it's like that, then he may be all right, but that's not what he's talking about doing.
Well, I mean, coach is gonna tell him. So I mean, it's
and that's where I struggle with some of this stuff, though, is because some of these guys are coming out making so much money now that and I'm not saying they're not going to respect the coaches, but like, I don't know. I feel like you look at the NBA sometimes, and coaches, really, you could play an entire game without the NBA coaches, and I don't know. I don't want that to ever like get to the NFL like that, but I feel like some of these guys feel like, hey, I can tell them what I'm going to do. And if not, guess what? You're fired. I'm not, because I'm the one out here making plays. So I'm not saying Travis Hunter's like that, but you know what I mean? Like, I feel like that's the attitude some guys coming out of this college ball now, like making millions of dollars.
I don't know when it started, but there's been more of an emphasis the last 10 or 15 years of, I don't know if it's coming more from the fan base and general managers and owners are just want to please fans more than they used to. But
Right.
there's more of an emphasis on you have to win now versus being able to try to build something.
Yeah.
I mean,
It's
valid.
fans. It's
you
fans.
used
Absolutely.
to be able to. Now, Ron Rivera is not a good example because he was terrible, but like you used to be able to go someplace, have your choice, have your picks, and then by year 4 or 5, if you still sucked, okay, now you're out the door. But
Right.
in
Right.
most
You have
cases
some
now
time.
you get like 2 years,
Yeah.
and then you're fired if you don't do anything. It's like that's not enough time, especially in college. That's not enough
Yeah.
time in college. You got to
Yeah.
get your own recruits. You got to build your own culture.
Mm-hmm.
And it's hard to do that in college when you have so many more players. But
Mm-hmm.
And a 24-year-old girlfriend, according to Bernard. So, Bill
Crazy.
You don't want to talk. We're not talking about that. We're not talking about
sorry.
Gosh.
soon to come on another episode.
Yeah, right.
Tyler, can I say? Can
It's
I
the
say
after
something?
hours.
I feel like it's not a matter of they're not going to take the coaching. I feel like nowadays players are more empowered to just say, I want out of here and I'm just going to sit here and not play. I'm not going to come to anything. I'm not going to play. I'm actually going to hurt the team. Because, I mean, and I know that usually backfires on the players because most guys that have sat a whole season, it's usually the end of them or the end of their, at least their prime at that point with the running backs that have done that. But I don't know. I mean, I even look at Jonathan Taylor holding out for as long as he did. And has he been quite as the dominant back, even though he's not that old at this point? But I could see like it was kind of what I thought Travis Hunter's message was is if you don't let me play both, then I'm not playing. Like I just won't do it. But I don't know. I agree he's got to play. I think he's got to play more offense early in his career than defense.
You got to help Trevor Lawrence out, man.
It's looking like this. It's
yes.
If he understands how to play wide receiver at the NFL level, he might be able to understand how to play cornerback at the NFL level with a better understanding. But like Kev says, if he's playing both sides immediately and playing a large number of snaps, he's never going to get past a certain level because this is the understanding of it. It's going to take longer to learn. But if he learns the wide receiver position really well, all right, now I know what NFL quarterbacks are looking for as a cornerback. Now I'm going to look for that, and I'm going to take advantage of it. So,
right,
valid point.
I mean, it's also the speed and the strength. Like in the NFL, you're playing the best players who have been able to achieve this high success, not just in college, but now in the NFL. Like, you're not playing North Dakota State,
right? Or Sasquatch State.
Like you're not playing as good as some of these teams were. You're not playing Arizona. You're not playing in the Big 12 anymore.
Right.
NFL.
That's and that's a valid point too. I mean, not just on the Big 12, but I mean it's played at Colorado.
I mean, even if you played at Alabama, football. I'd be saying the same thing. It's a different.
Oh, I know.
It's a.
I agree. The learning curve is going to be intense. From a playbook standpoint, from a coordinator standpoint,
mentally.
It's like
yeah.
Trent, who do you have same best player too? Travis Hunter?
Hell no. I already told you my best player.
That's right. Yeah, mine was Travis Hunter.
I mean, Travis Hunter does play mainly wide receiver. Him and Brian Thomas. I mean, come on,
Yeah,
right.
I know. All right, let's jump to biggest surprise. I don't know if you guys don't mind. I want to start this one off.
Do it.
Biggest surprise I had down was the Bears taking Colston Loveland. I know that was something that I had talked about a little bit on our actual draft episode where the Bears had heavy interest in him. I picked it as the biggest surprise because Tyler Warren was still there. And in my opinion, Tyler Warren was head and shoulders above Loveland just because he's so diverse with what he can do. It surprised me. I'm not saying that Colston Loveland is a bad player at all. It was my surprise because of the availability of Warren still being there at 10. So,
yeah, I agree with you, Tyler. It was a surprise, but something I want you to think about for that one.
Mm-hmm.
Look what he did with the quarterbacks he was playing with.
Yeah.
And how he excelled with JJ McCarthy and then pretty much anybody who could throw 10 yards down the field for Michigan
Right.
last year. He still excelled in that spot. So
Right.
it's yes, I mean, we saw Tyler Warren do all kinds. He was the best athletic tight end out there. I mean, they were both 1A, 1B in my opinion.
Yeah.
But
I think that's how most people had him graded too.
right. So I think it was a situation where I guess maybe I don't know if they talked to both of them, but maybe they really like Loveland the most.
Mhm.
I don't know where he's from, so I don't know if that played a factor. If it was like maybe he lives
Chicago guy.
Yeah, you know, maybe there's something like that. But I think with what he had, and you know, Caleb Williams is a better quarterback than what he's had for the past couple years in college. But yeah, I mean, maybe that was it. And I don't know.
Yeah.
Would you say he's the better blocker out of the two?
That was the argument, is that he was the better blocker than Tyler Warren. I just, again, athletically, like you even mentioned, I just think that Tyler Warren is so diverse with what he can do. So,
yeah.
I heard it was speed. Ben Johnson wants speed compared to what Tyler Warren has, and I guess Coastal Loveland has that.
Yeah.
But,
anybody else biggest surprise?
Yeah, I mean, I have one, and it kind of correlates with who I think had the worst draft, and that's the Bucks taking Ibuka in the first round.
Oh,
I have the exact same one. Yeah, the exact same one.
Yeah, it just, I mean, unless that means that they're going to do some with Godwin, it just didn't really make sense to me. I mean, it is the type of receiver that the Bucks like, but you still got what's his name?
Mike Evans.
Mike Evans, yeah. And then Godwin, and then you just drafted McMillan last year too. So
yeah,
I don't know, just a strange move in my eyes, and not something I expected at all.
I did look into that a little bit, because I'm like, you know, were they planning on trading somebody? Supposedly it came down to the injuries that Godwin and Mike Evans both have had the last couple of seasons. And that's why they went after this guy. Because, I mean, this guy's a number one receiver. I mean, you now technically have 2 1s and at least a 1B in Godwin. You know what I mean? Right. So it's like, I don't know. It was very interesting. That was a surprise. I agree with you.
The reason why I didn't like it is, I mean, like, the Bucks need help on defense.
Right.
Yeah.
And when they picked where he picked, because there was a lot of wide receivers, I think they could have maybe got him later, if they were already set on him, maybe try to work out moving back, maybe do something with that, collect up a little bit. But you passed on Jahdae Barron, Hook'em Horns. Who else?
Right.
He dropped. Did he drop to 2, or did he go late 1? I think he went late
Barron
he went right. He went right after him.
Broncos,
Okay.
right?
Okay, that's right.
You
James
have
Pierce.
Maxwell Hairston, the other cornerback over Michigan.
Yep.
There was some good defensive players that they just kind of, you know, they probably could have slid into starting spots. But
Malachi
I mean,
Starks.
I got the injury. I mean, that made sense with like Mike. I get it, but at the same time, I'm like, what do you?
Yeah,
what's
I
your
agree.
plan?
Honestly, it kind of reminded me last year when San Fran took Pearsall in the first round, because I'm like, well, we got Debo, we got Ayuk, we got this, and you know, obviously that's diminished, but it was kind of the same concept. It's like, what are you doing? Like,
Well,
I need a wide receiver.
Was Ayuk for sure yet then?
No, he was still holding out at that point.
He still had a knee though.
Later in the season,
I said he still had a knee at that point.
Oh, I don't like the excuse of the injuries to. I get the Godwin one. I don't get the Mike Evans one. I know he's a soft tissue guy all the time, where you take his over on receiving props and he freaking goes out with a hammy. But he's got the streak of how many 1,000-yard seasons. So it's like
Every year.
it's not like he's missing a ton of time. So it's like the injury is bullshit. I mean, here's what it comes down to for me is I just don't think it matters for them because they're going to continue to win that division because that division is the worst freaking division there is in football. So load up in weapons, score as many. You're going to outscore the Saints. You're going to outscore. Now their teams are slipping my mind. The Panthers and the Falcons. You're going to outscore all those teams because I just think
not with Penix.
Oh God, but Baker Mayfield, in my opinion, I know it might get some disagree. I think he's definitely the best quarterback in that division.
After Michael Penix.
Tyler loves some Penix, man.
Big old
Penix
energy.
Always in Tyler's mouth.
God damn.
That horse stuff I was getting.
What?
It was a
whoa,
I said I gotta go get some horse stuff, and everybody's like, "Whoa, what horse stuff are you talking about?" Dude? I was getting my laptop to get my course information for the Kentucky Derby.
So. That was off air, so now everyone's like, "What the hell is this guy about?"
Oh man, Kev, who's your biggest surprise?
I'm gonna go a little more low key than what you guys were talking about. My biggest surprise was my biggest surprise is the wide receiver out of San Jose State, Nick Nash, not even being drafted.
Ooh,
he was top 5 in yards, number 1 in touchdowns. He has a pretty decent size.
I didn't even realize that. I didn't realize that.
Did he get signed undrafted then?
Yeah, to Atlanta.
He is with big Penix energy. There it is.
So I just how well he performed in college. I mean, every year he was there, and then to top it off with the senior season he had to go undrafted with some of the guys that did get drafted. Just I guess he didn't have a good combine. I didn't watch the combine. Maybe he didn't perform well at the Senior Bowl. Again, not something I watched or paid attention to, but still, to me, even if he had bad performances on those two kind of spotlight areas, it still doesn't make sense to me.
Is it because his lack of experience at the wide receiver position?
He used to be a quarterback, right?
I mean, maybe, but
well,
he caught everything. He's got great hands, at least in college. He had great hands in college. He could separate pretty easily against his opponents. Again, not San Jose State's not necessarily a big time school, right? So he's not playing Tennessee defense. He's not playing Ohio State defense, but he still had to play Boise State, still played UNLV, and he succeeded in those games too. So that one was.
I like it. I mean, and see, that's exclusive content. I mean, I didn't know he went undrafted. You know what I mean? Like that's awesome. Yeah, I like that. Steve, I know Trent. You said you had the same as Trey, right?
Yeah.
You guys all three? Okay. All right. So let's go to best fit. I mean, I won't be long-winded on this. Ashton Genty, I felt like was the best fit, so we don't have to talk more about him just because.
No, we can, Ty. Go ahead.
I think to C's point earlier, like you come into Pete Carroll's offense there, it is going to he fits perfectly. He was on Marshawn's podcast the other night. I don't know if you guys saw that, but he was on Marshawn Lynch's podcast the other night, and that Marshawn was grilling about growing up with a military father and everything, and was it 50 push-ups before you went to school and 50 push-ups before breakfast and this and that. So I don't know. He seems like a good dude. So I think the Raiders really needed him. And I think he has like Derrick Henry potential, in my opinion, with the success of what like Derrick Henry has had with Tennessee and then even still with Baltimore. I think Genty has that potential to be a Derrick Henry like running back with impact.
Just not as tall and massive. I mean, he's massive, but
it's tall when he stands in the backfield.
I do, yeah.
He's short,
right?
What do they call it? I think his nickname's already like Silver Surfer, isn't it? That's what I'm seeing. I think that's the Raiders are trying to make that stick. He's going to wear number 2, which means Carlson is not. He's giving up his jersey number to him, but maybe I could get my old and I have this. This is probably at my parents' house. I have my Jamarcus Russell jersey. I can cross that out with some duct tape right on Gentian, and I gotta buy a jersey, guys. You know, I think
There you
It's right under the old tapes, the film that he used to watch. Oh wait, no, he didn't. Never mind.
right by your horse tapes or what?
Nice.
Talking about
Talking about how
Jamarcus Russell not watching
Marcus
tape.
didn't watch tapes.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah,
Sorry,
Trent got real offended there.
So what tapes are you talking about?
You thought I was dissing you.
Yeah, he did.
Yeah, I did.
He's like, whoa, what tapes? Horse tapes? Jeez. Like, whoa.
We agreed not to talk about that, Tyler.
Now we all know that Trent has horse tapes, though. Jeez.
No,
Just
they're
kidding.
your horse tapes.
Kev, who you got? Oh, yeah, go ahead. Anybody can go.
I said Simmons for the Chiefs. I thought he was a guy that there was a lot of questions about because of his injury, but he's not hurt. He's top 10 material, and it's just the good teams. I don't know. The good teams just always seem to
The rich get rich.
Yeah, they just always nail it. Like I look at the Eagles and I'm like, God damn it. I look at the Chiefs every year, God damn it. And I mean, we'll see how he comes back from injury, but I mean, I don't think it's definitely one that guys have come back from. So it was an absolute need, and I mean, I know this is a future episode. I still don't think the Chiefs are going to be that good. Too many one possession wins last year. Actually, I should say last second fluky ass wins last year. But it was definitely a need. We don't have any Chiefs fans here, right? Like, no, there's no Chiefs. No.
I kind of am. I have ties to them, but
I'm sorry to hear that.
My uncle used to be the head trainer for them, so.
Oh, that's cool as heck. Give him a shout out. Give him a shout out. We'll get some Chief sponsorship.
Yeah.
No, man, not on my watch.
Agreed. Hey, Steve, my high school OC is Matt Nagy. So like literally have his number in my phone, and it's like I text him on game day when they play the Raiders. Screw you. Hope you lose. No, I'm just kidding. Call him every time throughout the night. Make sure he doesn't sleep.
Hey man, it's cool, man. Text him if you got it in your phone. Dude, ask Kev when Notre Dame played Ohio State. I actually know Al Golden. I texted his wife before the game, and, and I just say good luck. That was
Trent actually prank calls Nagy. I'm just kidding.
Yeah.
During the game.
Overnight.
Tell him to run the fumble Rooski. That stupid ass.
What do you think?
Commercial.
Anybody else best fit?
I just like Jahdae Barron. I don't think the Broncos necessarily needed him in the first round, but I just think he fits that team. Like a tough safety, tough secondary player. It just fits the Broncos style, I feel like.
I hope he sucks.
He won't.
Sorry.
He won't, man. I'm sorry, man. I know I'm conflicted here.
All this divisional hate going on.
He won't.
Yeah.
It's a long.
You guys keep talking so good about the Chiefs, and I know I'm guilty of it, but because and the Broncos now. What's next? Who's got the Chargers? Here we go. Go ahead.
Yeah, I thought a good fit was no, just kidding.
Yeah.
Look at that. Raiders get one good running back, and now the fans want to talk shit to everybody.
Everybody else.
Absolutely. You're damn right.
Tough guys.
What are you gonna say, Kev?
I was going to say to kind of follow Trey's pick. I'm going with another safety. I think Malachi. It's not Malik.
Yeah.
It's Malachi. Malachi Starks with the Ravens. I think he's just kind of that same kind of culture guy that they tend to bring in.
Yep.
It was all about football. Comes downhill well. Can also be a ball hawk. The other one I really like. Yeah, him and Hamilton should be a nice little duo.
Scary.
The other one I wanted to bring up was Caleb Johnson to Pitt. I think he's a perfect replacement for Najee Harris. It's right into that role easily for them.
That's right. I forgot. I keep forgetting Najee left. That was a weird.
I'm surprised Johnson went as late as he did.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I thought
Yeah,
he was
I feel like Najee Harris never really got comfortable in Pittsburgh. Even though he had I feel like he had the frame, the build, the style of a Pittsburgh running back. I just
slow.
felt like he never could go.
Yeah, he's
Like
slow.
he was always just like, oh, he's good, but I don't know. We'll see what he can do now. But
He's running in sand.
Kind of, yeah, but I think that's also they were kind of rebuilding at the quarterback position. They
Right.
thought it was going to be Pickett, wasn't Pickett, and they Rudolph next, and then they last year's experiment. So
who you got, Steve?
Ever had any burners at running back? I mean, Le'Veon Bell.
Rashard Mendenhall.
Yeah. Okay, Mendenhall.
Nah, Willie Parker.
North Carolina guy. Who you got, Steve?
I said Matthew Golden.
Yeah.
Man, I'm not being biased here, man. Listen. It's not. It just happened to fall that way. Jordan Love, best way I could put it, they have a lot of wide receivers, but they don't have a number one wide receiver. Now you have a number one wide receiver who's fast. They're gonna air it out. Jordan Love has just been getting better every year.
Oh, yeah.
I like the fit, man. There's a reason why they drafted him. They obviously don't draft wide receivers, so you can't pass up on 4.29 speed, man. Can't teach speed.
Steve, I think that was the best analysis of the night so far.
You just got to make sure that their quarterback doesn't keep throwing interceptions, but that's fine.
Oh, how many did he throw last year?
All right,
here we go. Here we go.
Go ahead, Ty. Go ahead.
What tapes are you talking about, Ty? What tapes are you talking about?
No, Ty, just go ahead. How many did he throw last year?
I don't know. I don't follow bad teams.
Okay.
Oh,
Oh boy.
Guys, this episode could completely turn if they start going Packers Niners crap.
We're done.
I just think it's
all
funny.
right. All right. Everybody give best fits.
Yeah.
All right. You guys want to go worst fit now?
Oh,
yep.
Let's do it.
This was the hardest one for me, to be honest with you. I had a lot of trouble with worst fit.
Oh.
From the internet's red carpet.
Yeah. All right. Let's go worst fit. But like I said, this I had a lot of trouble with this just because it was like, all right, who had a bad pick? Or is it the pick? Is it the team? Is it, and that's why I kind of went back and forth. I don't know. Steve, you want to start this one off? It's hard. It's a weird.
I can if you need
Yeah, you go hop in this one because I was going like it's so hard. It's so hard to go like.
I did something a little different here. I didn't like the fit. Right? Maybe I'm copping out of this, but I don't like the fit of having Dylan Gabriel and Shador Sanders in the same draft class for the Browns, like for each other. I just think now the Browns have come out and said that Gabriel was their guy. They had him on the board higher than Sanders. You draft a guy like Sanders with the ego, with the following, with his dad tailing along with him to Cleveland to say my son doesn't play behind any quarterback. And then you also have Joe Flacco, and Kenny Pickett and Deshaun Watson.
They're not exercising Pickett's option. I don't know what that's going to look like for Pickett.
Well, they still have him for this season, right? So they're
just
five
quarterbacks.
Well, they do, and I think right now it's an ugly fit to bring those two guys with all the crap that's going on around Sanders. I mean, I don't know. I still think if we were able to wager on like who's going to start, like some states can, I'm wagering on Flacco. I mean, that's me personally, but I think if somebody's going to come in, if they're going to put a younger guy in, I think it's going to be Shador, which is weird to say because they said Gabriel's their guy, but I don't know. It's just too much messiness for me. It's kind of like if you had Tim Tebow on your team, like if you suck, the fans are going to be begging for Tim Tebow to play, right? So
yeah.
But now it's Shador Sanders.
It's a good comparison.
Yeah.
In the Suns, I like that because I don't know, man. It's ugly. What the fuck are the Browns doing? But and then Mel Kiper sits there and gives him an A+. Like, go, like, what the fuck are you thinking?
Mel Kiper's got 1 or 2 more years left, man. I don't know, man. He's just
he was losing his marbles, dude. Like he was.
Well, I think
he was hard to listen to.
I think he burned some bridges when he sat there and said that no NFL executives can evaluate quarterbacks like he can.
I know.
Like, don't forget how high he was on Jimmy Clausen, right? Like, but I don't know. I thought he burned some bridges with the way that he was talking there for a little bit. He let his emotions kind of get the better. It kind of fogged his. Because I get a kick out of him because how intense he is, and he's like the freaking groundhog coming out of his freaking hole for one day a year. Like that's Mel Kiper. His draft day is that time, and it's like dipshit Luzardi, Joe Lenardi, you know. Like,
dude, I just wait for the Mel Kiper t-shirts I'm gonna make. So,
but
I got him in the works.
Yeah, I don't know, man. That was tough to watch. He was too emotionally attached to that whole Sanders slip. I don't know. It was weird.
Because he had to eat crow because he had him as like his number 1 quarterback, and then you know,
yeah.
And there's a clip.
Wasn't he like 4 overall on his board?
No, he was
2 or 2.
He was up there. He was at least top 5. There's a clip from like the 94 or 96 draft where the Colts GM was like, I don't know who the hell this Mel Kiper guy is, but
I remember I saw it.
Like just totally dogged him out. Was like, I don't know why he thinks he can evaluate talent better than us, and like I don't know who gives him the right to kind of criticize what we're doing here. Like, yep,
right.
So I don't know if he burned those bridges. He's been burning bridges since the 90s. Yeah. So yeah. All right.
It's good TV.
I have my worst fit. I think I'm gonna still stick with the Green Bay Packers. Sorry, Trey.
Yeah.
But I'm gonna go Savion Williams, the other wide receiver they drafted from TCU. Like, why? Like I just said, Green Bay has a bunch of wide receivers. They just don't have a number 1. So why would you bring in Williams? Like,
he's a dog.
I don't know, man. That's the one I'm just like.
Was that their 3rd pick?
Round 3.
Yeah. Steve, I gotta say that's probably your worst analysis of the day so far.
You win some, you lose some.
Kev, who you think worst fit?
Mine, I'm actually gonna go at my team a little bit. I didn't understand the Jalen Lane pick for the Commanders.
Okay.
He's not necessarily a speed guy, which is what they need at wide receiver.
Mm-hmm.
And now you have him, Samuel, McCaffrey, who all are basically slot guys.
Mm-hmm.
So like that one I didn't get.
Yeah, I keep forgetting Debo's there.
Yeah.
Like we need somebody on the outside so McLaurin doesn't have to be the one running go routes, and he can be kind of the true number 1 doing all the other routes and not having to go deep every play.
Right. I mean, yeah, I don't know, because Debo was kind of Debo was kind of an across the middle guy too for the Niners, at least.
Yeah.
I mean, he's gonna catch the ball and run over a couple people and then be out for a couple games. But
I mean, I see them using him as a running back too right now because Robinson didn't have a great year. So.
Isn't your GM too one of the guys from the Niners?
Yeah, Adam Peters. He was the assistant GM there.
Yeah. So, yeah, I don't know. Trey, you got worst fit? Sorry.
I mean, I wouldn't say it's a worst fit. It's just one that surprised me, and I didn't think that they would take. If anything, I thought they'd trade back and get some stock, but the Panthers taking Ted McMillan at 8 was kind of eye-opening to me.
Mm-hmm.
I know there's debate whether or not he's the top wide out in the draft, and even if he was, I don't think the Panthers necessarily that's not their biggest need. I think they needed like an edge rusher, like a linebacker, like someone solid to kind of replace Burns, who I think left a gaping hole in their defense. So
gaping.
Yeah, I don't know. It was just not something I thought was going to happen, and when they drafted him, it was kind of just a surprise.
Nobody likes gaping holes, but yeah, you're right.
Mhm.
especially if it burns. But I think that guy is going to be one of the best players out of this entire class.
Tet McMillan.
I do. I think he's going to be a freak.
I think he's lazy.
I'll jump on the trade bandwagon. That was almost my worst fit.
Man,
Same one.
I'm with you.
I
I think he's going to be a stud.
I do. I think he is going to be the guy in this class, receiver wise.
He
All
like,
right,
I think he
Steve's the tiebreaker. We got 2-2.
Come on, Steve.
Listen,
What are you gonna do?
me and Kev had a shouting match over Tet McMillan.
Yeah, he doesn't like Ted McMillan.
I'm gonna stay out of
Yeah.
this one completely. It's not that I don't like him. I don't think he's good. We were talking about
He's
best
Hawaiian.
wide
He doesn't
receivers.
like Hawaiian people. So
Whoa. First off, that's Clinton. Don't put that on me. All right, all right. That's not. Don't lump me in with him. All right,
that's hilarious.
all right.
Oh
They're very
man,
fine individuals. They just don't make great quarterbacks, according to Clinton.
shit! Now I gotta cancel. Now I gotta cancel Marcus Mariota next week as a guest. Damn it!
I think he's good, but I just it is a weird to not address what you need.
Yeah.
But I guess
But
feels
that's
who's
the
the best
Panthers.
on
That's
the
the
board right
Panthers.
now, though.
I mean, don't
think
they
it was-
need everything? You need somebody for Bryce Young to throw to. Why not?
They got
just-
what?
You
They got
Xavier
Yeah,
Leggett.
Adam Thielen.
I'm feeling, yeah.
They got the guy with the best accent in football.
Yeah. It's raccoon.
Dude, I love it. He's awesome.
But
So,
I don't
yeah,
know.
I'm not gonna say worst. It's not the complete worst because
Yeah.
I just it was
I-
a question mark though.
Yeah, I didn't like the Rams taking Terrence Ferguson at a tight end. I don't think the Rams. I'm not saying they had the worst draft. I don't think the Rams had a very good draft. I mean, I didn't like it because they have Higbee there. Like I said, I had a lot of trouble picking those worst fit. I mean, I was down into like round 6, 7, like looking at guys. And I'm like, oh, I'm not even sure anymore. And then I'd go back to 2, and so I don't know. I said Terrence Ferguson just because I just didn't to pick him in the second round. I feel like there was better guys available that the Rams needed than picking a tight end there. So, all right, biggest sleeper. Who could be a breakout guy that kind of, obviously people could, you can make the argument for Shador, but
well, we know Steve's not saying Tet McMillan. We know that. Definitely not Dylan Gabriel.
I mean, he plays quarterback.
Kev, before we got on, Steve was like, "Man, I wish we had 49 states." That's what he said.
Wow.
Just kidding.
I mean, with Dylan Gabriel, he at least hides it behind the fact that Gabriel went to Oklahoma.
Listen. All the listeners out there, I want to make something clear. I've never said anything about anybody from the islands. Okay, listen, I have no problem. Right, I gotta fight this slander, man. You're
gonna get some Samoas showing up. Some Samoans showing up at your door.
Those are the one group of guys I don't want to fight. Like I'm not. No.
Yeah.
Bunch of
Dude,
rocks
they'll go with
just
the whole
walking around.
dance.
Yeah.
Before. Oh man.
Yeah.
Roman Reigns and all them. I'm not trying to. No.
Oh man.
Trouble Chief.
Steve's gonna text us. He's like, guys, somebody threw a lava rock through my window last week.
Listen, I don't like Dylan Gabriel because he played at Oklahoma, Kev. All right,
I mean, that's a good hiding spot to be behind.
All right.
All right.
Hey, listen, the Raiders had a starting quarterback that was for a couple games that was Hawaiian. That was Mr. Tuiasosopo. So listen.
You had Mariota too, though.
I think I vaguely remember you switching teams those games.
He became a Chiefs fan.
Jeez.
Oh man, that's funny.
Wow.
All right. Sleepers.
Now I have to pick a
Sleepers.
Hawaiian guy. Like that's my sleeper. Like put Hawaiian guys out there to know his name, so I can name him as a sleeper pick.
Oh,
See,
So
I
take
went-
the pressure off him. Go ahead, Trey. You're tied, sorry.
I went Cam Scatterbo.
Ah, you motherfucker.
Dude, Giant. That's a steal for the Giants. He's gonna be a stud.
Wow.
I actually
I
really
hope
love.
so. I like him. I hope he ends up being a good running back in the NFL.
Dude, he's
I
a
do
workhorse,
too.
man.
Yeah.
So,
anybody read the story about how he used to run into telephone poles?
yeah. With his brother's
like
shoulder
that-
pads on.
Yeah, that was like part of his training was running just into telephone poles. Like,
Yeah.
what the hell?
I don't know how many people
that
I
guy's
tell
a football
that to.
player. He is definitely a football player.
Yes.
Born and bred. Yeah, Cam Scatterbo with the Giants. And to get him in the 4th round, I wanted the Niners to take him in the 3rd round to pair him up with McCaffrey. But
I mean, he probably gave Steve one of the biggest playoff football scares of his life because he almost single-handedly brought Arizona State back to win that game because he was doing everything in that game.
Yep.
Great pick.
throwing up on the field.
I have 2 sleepers. One's my legit. Like, I think this guy's gonna truly be a player. Mike Green, edge rusher out of Marshall, got drafted by a great. My opinion. I know Tyler calls me a closet Ravens fan because my wife's a Ravens fan, but
Is
I think they're a good organization. I know they haven't necessarily won the Super Bowl with Lamar yet, but I thought value-wise where they got him in the 2nd round, I thought that was a great pick. The other one is Tommy, I believe it's Mellett. Steve, yes. Quarterback, Montana State, aka wide receiver, Montana State. Very sneaky pick there. A lot of teams actually had him on their boards because of his 4.3 speed, his ability to play quarterback, but also how well he did at receiver during his pro day workout. So watch out for a little slot receiver action from him this year coming up.
He essentially drafted both quarterbacks from the FCS championship.
We did.
We did. Miller. Yeah, man. I love it. I love it, man. But yeah, he's fast. He's an athlete. Good sleeper pick. Fantastic sleeper pick. Actually had him, but you know what? That's cool. I have one up top the dome, ready to go. I have a theme going now.
Oh. Hey, wait! He did this. I think he just did this.
As I say, do I have to play the Moana theme song?
Steve doesn't do Hook 'em Horns. He does this now.
Hey man, I love the fighting rainbows. All right,
It's the Rainbow Warriors.
whatever.
Is it?
Same thing.
I think so.
San Fran fan would know.
What's that mean, Trent?
Oh,
Yeah,
they have a lot of Hawaiian players.
Yeah, what's that mean, Trent?
not wrong.
Trey.
There he is. All right, Steve, who is your sleeper?
So I did have Trent's secondary pick, but I'll
Sorry.
pivot and I'm gonna go with a 7th round pick who is backing up
I see
a Hawaiian quarterback
I
who
got you.
happens to get hurt quite a bit during the season.
And that's not
Going-
this. That's this.
Yeah, I went
Sorry.
Quinn Ewers, University of Texas quarterback. Did drop significantly all the way to the 7th round. I think it was honestly last year's performance was not great. We come to find out that he was playing hurt after the Michigan game, and he just never recovered 100%, which makes a lot of sense because he looked like a completely different quarterback after coming back from injury.
I agree.
The offense that the Dolphins runs is similar to the University of Texas in the way Sark calls plays, and I think that's why like he landed in the best spot for him to if he gets an opportunity, like he's not gonna be shell shocked in how they play the game. So I kind of do expect him to get a chance to play because Tua doesn't stay healthy. And if he capitalizes and looks good in that offense, which is that high pace offense, misdirection, all that kind of stuff, which is he loved. I mean, you saw what he did with Texas. I think, I mean, they might be asking for Quinn over Tua at the especially if he just stays healthy. But the funny thing is, both of them are injury prone, so it's kind of
you
like
know who else they got? Agent Zero, Zach Wilson.
Oh,
Yeah,
God.
Well,
Zach
Steve,
had his chance. Zach had his chance, bro. God bless Zach. I even thought he was gonna do something, but it just seems like it just never worked out 100% for him.
I will say this, Steve. There is some of the best quarterbacks, at least one of the top 5 right now in the league, drafted in the 7th round.
Oh,
So
gosh.
yeah, man, just need a chance. Everyone's dogging on him. He's come in with a chip on his shoulder to like, oh, you passed up all this money. You can't have it both ways. You can't dog a college player for chasing a bag and going to and transferring and getting paid to go play another school for, $4 million. Or he passed up. He chased his dream, decided to go into the draft. Yes, he ended up in the 7th round. He's not getting the same amount of money he would have got for 1 year of college ball, but it's. You can't which one is it though? You know what I mean? You can't
right.
It's like the same people who complain about the college players chasing bags are the same ones like, oh, Quinn's an idiot because he didn't chase a bag. And it's like
exactly.
All right, so
it's cake and eat it too, you know.
I know quite a lot of Dolphins fans that I'm friends with, and I would say the majority of them wouldn't be upset about seeing Quinn Ewers in there over Tua by the end of the year.
I think he's gonna get a chance.
Yeah,
Tua's gonna get popped. And a little fun fact about Quinn, I found this out recently. I had no idea about this. He didn't receive $1 of NIL money from the University of Texas.
What?
Really?
It was all through his agent and literally his name, image, and likeness that he was getting paid off of. Because I mean, he had like a private jet, like a private jet NIL and all kinds of stuff. And I'm like, oh wow, but yeah, everything he made, not $1 came
commercials.
Yeah, like not $1 came from the University of Texas
for him.
Wow. So quick recap: Steve is cheering for the downfall of the Hawaiian quarterback in Miami.
That's what it sounds like.
Gotta stay consistent now. Apparently, that's my thing now. I guess it's my thing.
Kev, who's your sleeper?
I struggled this one. I had like 4 or 5. I was thinking about picking Bassa at KC, potentially just because of Spag's defense. But I'm actually going to go with Barrett Carter, linebacker out of Clemson, ended up at Cincinnati. They got him in the 4th round. You know, if he had come out his junior year, he probably would have been a 1st or 2nd round pick. But he had a down season this year. If he can kind of get back to that form, which I think he can, because he's a pretty good athlete, and he's got some length to him too. So I think he'll be a nice little edge rusher, run stopper for them up there in Cincy.
I like that.
They needed that.
Yeah, they had a very interesting draft, in my opinion. But I do agree to get him in the 4th round like that was he does have a big upside for sure. There's so many questions. I feel like the Bengals always wait to like answer all these questions about who's signing when and what are we gonna do with this player and that player. And it's like, what? Just make a freaking decision. Like I feel like that does worse than like just either ripping the Band-Aid off or signing the big guy to the contract. It's like just make a decision. Like stop beating around the bush and say, well, we might do this and franchise tag this and do this. But yeah, I like that. That's a good sleeper pick. Trey?
I already did mine.
Mine is another Texas guy. It's a guy I think is going to have an impact right away for a team that needed it, and that's Andrew Makuba, safety out of Texas that went to the Eagles.
Was that their first pick?
2nd round pick, I believe.
Okay.
Yeah, 1st round was Campbell.
That's right.
Which that was a stupid move. I don't understand trading up 1 spot and giving up a 5th round pick just to do that.
The only thing was that if somebody was going to trade up and get him, I guess that was the only argument I could hear. Because I didn't understand it either. It was weird. I don't think anybody was doing that, but
No.
who knows? Who knows? Business.
Yeah. Kansas City
All right.
team tricked them.
Yeah. All right. I mean, I kind of want to just go right to NFL ready because I feel like that's a quick one, and then we'll kind of go to biggest steal, biggest reach. If you guys are all right.
Bye, Jay.
All right. NFL ready. He's already been talked about a little bit. I got Abdul Carter from the Giants.
We skipped reach.
No, I know we're coming back around because I feel like NFL ready's guys we already talked about. So
Okay.
I think biggest steal, biggest reach we can have more conversations about. But NFL ready, I picked Abdul Carter. I think he just is going to come in. I hope the Giant. I don't really hope. I don't care. But I think they should keep Thibodeau and have Abdul Carter, and I think you have pretty studly defensive line if you can keep both those guys there. So I like what the Giants were doing, but yeah, Carter's my guy.
NFL ready. I went Ashton Genty again. I think. Sorry, guys. A little biased, but he can run. He can catch. Biggest
Pick the Raiders
challenge
for
with
every single box.
no, only 3, 4. No,
5.
but I think the biggest challenge for running backs is making sure you can protect in the pass game, and I think he'll be just fine. So once again, I would take running back definitely over, say, a quarterback, just because of the amount of learning and the amount of pressure that's on quarterbacks. So
That makes sense. Kev?
We already talked about it, and then went down a dark road for Steve. But I think Ted McMillan is the most NFL ready. He's got big hands. He's got a good vertical.
These false allegations here.
Hey, Kev, you know what they say about guys with big hands? Big gloves. Big gloves.
You got to wear those gloves that are really sticky. He's going to catch everything. He's got a good vertical. He can block already. Doesn't like if you see him at Arizona, he was in on every play, even on the runs, blocking. Like he's it. Now, is he going to perform well? Probably not because it's Carolina. But physically and skill wise, I think he's the most NFL ready.
Hey, get a guy for Bryce. Steve, who you got?
I went Tyler Warren. I think his skill set. I know he's with the Colts now, and quarterback situation is kind of up in the air there. But I mean, the guy is gonna get open. We saw what Bowser did for our team with Aiden O'Connell throwing the ball, and just guys that aren't up to starter NFL like level. I think Tyler set up for success, and I mean he's going to a team with a pedigree of great tight ends that played for the Colts. So I think he'd be a good fit there, and I think he's ready to go.
Well, that is the perfect segue to biggest steal, because my biggest steal was the Colts getting Tyler Warren. I think him to fall to 14 was kind of insane. I think Trent, you texted me about Niners got to take him because he's best available, just like the Raiders. And dude, I couldn't have agreed more. I wanted him so bad to pair with Kittle and Juice in San Fran. I think that offense could have been scary, like old school, run it down your throat. And then you still got McCaffrey in the backfield too. Like, look out. So I think for him to fall to 14 was an absolute steal. And I almost wonder if the Colts did do what the Raiders did. Because didn't the Raiders have like 13 or 14 last year when they got Bowser? Like, I mean, hell, they're Bowers. What do I call him? Bowser. play Mario. Sorry.
It works.
Yeah,
it works.
Yeah, Tyler Warren, the Colts was my steal.
I'll go ahead and hop in. I said Will Johnson from Michigan going to Arizona. I know there were some questions about injury. That's why he probably slipped as far as he did. But I think he went second round or third round? Second round. Day two. So probably that's a third round or second round. I'm sorry. and I think he might be even. I mean, I don't know his health 100%, but I mean, I'm pretty sure he'd be ready to go for the season. So they might have been able to slide in a starter, even drafting as late as they did. And then, I mean, I saw what this guy did past 2 seasons, and when healthy, he's probably one of the best cornerbacks in college football.
Oh yeah.
Yep.
I like that. Yeah, that was. You're right. He did slide. He was one. Didn't Trent? We had him projected first round.
Yeah, he's first round talent. I think it was just injury that kind of made him slide down
Yeah.
people's draft, but still a great talent. If he's coming into the season 100% healthy, that's a great pick.
Yeah.
I mean, it's unfortunate he's on the Cardinals, but we'll see what happens. They're going to be on the field a lot.
I know, like it does kind of blow my mind how much like these college kids get, like how much they slide due to an injury, say like an ACL even nowadays. That is, guys are almost back to full form in like anywhere from 6, 7, 8 months, right? It used to be much longer, but it's like I do think that's a steal. Like he's first round talent, just like getting the Simmons guy for the Chiefs. Like he's coming off an injury too. He slid all the way that late. Now he stayed in the first round, but it just shocks me because I feel like it's not as big of a deal when an NFL player gets a similar injury and they're not like, oh, he's done, his career's in question. It's like
I feel like it's different
No,
care
like-
though. Like you got college versus the pros. Like I feel like it's different care. I mean, you could make the argument Frank Gore tore both of his knees.
how
in
many
Miami.
times? Yeah.
Well, no, I'm saying in Miami, and he was fine his entire career as a workhorse.
Yeah,
Just I think fifth leading rusher of all time.
but
So,
I
yeah,
think this
I don't know.
correlates. This correlates to something that Kev said earlier in the episode, speaking about the window you have for success. And so, if they normally would have a 4 or 5 years to get ready to show some turnaround for the team insteed of a 2-year window,
Right.
at that point you're like, hey man, like I know you're good, but my job's on the line. Like if I take you don't work out, and they're
that's a
gonna be
great
like, well,
point.
you passed up on XYZ, and you took an injured player.
Mm-hmm.
You know, we're gonna have to. You're fired. You know, you're
It's
done.
tough.
So
Yeah.
Because I feel like GMs are as much of a turnover anymore nowadays as coaches are.
yeah,
Well,
yeah.
and
It's like,
that's the thing that you try to tell high school athletes is like your high school coaches aren't paying their bills or feeding their family with their salary, but these college guys and NFL guys, like it's their well being, like it's their income to support themselves and their families. So it's like they'll replace you as soon as they feel like you're not playing up to par, and it's next guy if they can get one better. But Tyler, I was on the same exact boat as you. As soon as I saw the Bears do what they did with Love, I was like, I just felt like the next team had to take Warren. I'll be honest, like this is a team that I think, and maybe I might end up talking about them later, but like, why not the Cowboys? Like, I'm just like, why did you pass out? Like, if you would have, it's similar. Well, we don't need them. Well, Raiders drafted Mayer the year before, Mayer from Notre Dame the year before, and it's like, look what happened. They've got to do more best available. Like just take it. Like, and that's why I'm happy with what the Raiders done these past 2 years. But it's like I couldn't believe that was the team where I'm like, shit. Like, not that I have anything totally against the Cowboys, but I'm like, Warren's going to end up in Dallas, and then nope, took a guy that, I mean, I love offensive linemen, but I just that surprised me. I couldn't believe that he fell that late because I actually eat lunch every day with a Colts fan, and we were asking, I was like, who do you want to get? And he's like, oh, I want Tyler Warren. I'm like, there's no way he's going to be available for the Colts. And
I know exactly what you're talking about because he's also a Penn State guy too.
Yeah, and I texted him like, because he texted me, he's like, how do you feel about your pick? And I'm like, love it. And then I was texting him like, oh my God, it happened. Like, this is nuts that he literally dropped to, Penn State fan and Colts fan, which not many Colts fans around where we're at, but pretty cool. I liked it.
Who you got, Kev?
So I kind of with you guys a little bit on Ty Warren, but for this I went with another wide receiver, fourth rounder, Alec Iomanner,
Mm,
played at Stanford. I feel like if he was at, I don't know, like a Clemson, maybe even like a USC to
mhm.
stay on the West Coast, he might have gone first or second round, but Stanford just could not throw the ball.
Right.
And this guy
They
has,
were, they were rough.
yeah, and he has similar physical traits and ability, in my opinion, that Ted McMillan does. It just, you didn't get to see it because Stanford was just so poor with
Right.
their pass
Right.
game.
Yeah. That's a good one. I like that. All right. Oh, we got biggest reach. Biggest reach, and then we'll do the teams real quick. And we got biggest reach. Kev, why don't you start us off with your biggest reach?
Biggest reach, staying with the wide receiver room. I'm not sure why Tennessee drafted. I'm going to mispronounce his name, but I think it's Shamir Dyke from Florida at the 103rd pick. One Io Manor, who they actually took later, was still on the board. Torrey Horton, another guy that I love, was still on the board. Jalen Lane, I do like him. I just don't think he's a good fit for Washington. Was still on the board. Watkins for Ole Miss. I just feel like you reached with Dyke. I mean, maybe they saw something in his workout or at the combine. Like I said, I didn't watch the combine, so I'm not sure how he performed there. But clearly Tennessee saw something in him. But I that one stuck out at me as the biggest reach.
Yeah, that's Tennessee. I don't think that coach sticks around that much longer if he doesn't have any success this year. If they have another down season this year, like they have had for the last couple, I think he's gone.
Yeah.
You know, Steve, we got biggest reach.
I went Derek Harmon, the D tackle from Oregon for Pittsburgh. I know he's good, so don't think I'm thinking like the guy's not good. It's just like Pittsburgh, like you got some issues, man. And like I know Watt wasn't staying healthy the past couple years. There's issues with that. And I mean, this guy is a good run stopper. I think he had issues with tackles. I think he was like top 10 in missed tackles. So
is that what you want in the middle there?
right. So I mean, if he gets to the quarterback, he was missing quarterbacks, and it's kind of like, is this guy a first round guy? And like, he's got the potential. I know, Pittsburgh can coach him up. We all know Tomlin seems to be able to always win 9 games a season. I don't know how he does it, but I just feel like that was a reach for them. I'm not saying they had to get Shador. I'm not saying I take Shador off the board completely. I'm not saying they had to get him. I guess they've already kind of signaled that they're gonna land Aaron Rodgers, maybe. So I just feel like at that point, I forgot what spot they drafted at and who was available.
Yeah, it was 21st. Because Shador was 21 and a half to be picked or pick overall, so it was 21.
Yeah, because they were one of the few teams that needed quarterbacks. That's the thing too about this draft. There was about 3 or 4 teams that needed quarterbacks. Everyone else was like, we're kind of set, So
right.
I just feel like Pittsburgh.
Do you think that maybe that they didn't take a quarterback again? Maybe they are getting Rodgers because that's. I mean, what the hell else are you doing here?
Yeah, they end up drafting a quarterback late. It was who they end up getting?
Will Howard.
Yeah, we ended up getting Will Howard, and I wasn't completely impressed with Will Howard. I feel like it's like Kenny Pickett 2.0.
Yeah, that's a good comparison.
I mean, he is better than Kenny Pickett, even in college. But Kenny Pickett looked good for Pitt when he was there. But I mean, Will Howard can run. He's got some upside. But Pennsylvania kid. Yeah, because he was that big Ohio State Penn State game. He was like, they overlooked me and whatnot. But I was impressed what he did at Kansas State. But Yeah, in this spot, I don't know. It just was a question mark. Like, what are you doing, Pittsburgh? Like,
I
why?
I
Why
could
are you doing
see Pittsburgh putting like not necessarily like right away here, but I could see them trading Pickens and a lot of stock somewhere to move up and somehow try to get Arch Manning next year.
Pittsburgh.
Arch Manning in Pittsburgh? I don't want to see that.
I don't know. I don't want to see that either.
Like,
No, I don't want to see it
there's
either.
no reason I don't want to see that. Like, I just
Yeah.
know, man. Like, I will see
But I'm
him.
saying like nothing else really made sense, unless I don't know if that's their play or if it's the Rodgers play or if it's I don't freaking know because Mason Rudolph.
That means
is not,
that pretty much
not your
means. I
starting
mean, they have to have a losing season.
That's exactly.
You know what I mean? Like, so
and that's not a Pittsburgh thing either.
Yeah, so it's like, are you they're not banking on losing seasons, so it's kind of like, I know
don't
there's
know.
a formula there. There's a reason why Tomlin doesn't go under 500. He figures it out and can either
Right.
barely scrape into the playoffs or just miss the playoffs because he's 9-7, and it's I don't know, man. As much as I love Tomlin, you got to start asking some questions. Like, to go back to Kev's, that window, bro, he's been there for a while now. And it's kind of like you're not really getting better.
He's long. I think isn't he longest tenured now?
Yeah.
But to your point, when he never has a losing season ever.
Right. I mean, I know Steelers don't fire coaches like all willy-nilly, man. They don't just get rid of you. They've had like 7 coaches their whole life of this franchise. So,
but
I don't know. I don't know if it's exactly 7, but I know it's
he only has 1. But again, no losing season ever. Has not had a losing season.
1 Super Bowl, and you can make the argument that it was like a year or 2 after Cowher, so it was like, oh,
right, it was his team type thing.
Right. I mean, yeah.
So you're right. No losing seasons. It's tough to make. It's like I can have an argument for so many other coaches that have losing seasons to fire him. Like Tomlin, you're just like, oh, this is it. Like this past year I was watching, I was like, oh, this is it. He's gonna have a losing season.
The same thing.
And then pulls it off, and it's like, you got to be kidding me.
I make that bet every year with. I make that bet
and I hate
year.
rooting against him. Like I like him as a coach.
Yeah.
Like you can't be a dumb coach and not have a losing season. You know what I mean? Like,
right.
But it's just like. I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if they end up getting like Isaiah Bond.
Mm-hmm.
I know it's another Texas guy, but he's in trouble. So they tend to like crazy like wide receivers in Pittsburgh for some reason. Like you got some issues. Oh, you're a great fit in Pittsburgh for some reason. I don't get it.
And that's my question is you bring in Metcalf. How's he got to be reacting right now?
Like unless they are getting Rodgers, but I mean, I don't know, like
Rodgers, he's on his way out, in my opinion. Like,
oh yeah, I think he's done. I think Rodgers is done, but it's just weird to hitch your wagon to him and say this is gonna be our guy,
right?
When I wouldn't have been mad if they kept Justin Field. Even though, I mean, I'm not impressed with him at all, but it's just like,
or even Russell Wilson,
Russell, like, well, what if you get Rodgers and it looks bad?
Right.
Honestly, Rodgers might be set up for a scapegoat because, like, if he gives him a losing season,
I'm not gonna lie, I'm gonna throw another name out there, even with Jameis Winston. Because at least he's going to bring some positive media attention to you, like some fun in the locker room. I mean, I don't think he's that bad. I think he's better than what they have.
Jameis Winston is going to give you 25 touchdowns. He's also going to give you 20 picks, but he's going to give you 25 touchdowns. So it's I don't know where they're going. That's probably my thing. Don't know what their plan is, and I can't see it.
Yeah. They're gonna trade to Cleveland for one of their 5 quarterbacks.
Bring back Kenny Pickett.
Shoot. That'd be funny.
I think Joe
Flacco.
Only
Joe Flacco sitting on the Pittsburgh Steelers. I don't know. I kind of like that. I think something about Joe Flacco is just like
if I'm the Browns and I'm gonna throw the Steelers a bone, there is got to be something in that trade where they are taking a huge portion of the Deshaun Watson money. You know what I mean? Like if you're gonna give a team that's quarterback less in your division, I would say then you're also going to take Deshaun Watson, but you're going to have to pay some sort of his guaranteed money to help them because I think all their money is tied up to two players. One is legit in
Miles
defense, Miles Garrett, but then all their other money is tied up in Deshaun Watson, and he's done for the year, right? But like, you've got to somehow figure a way to get.
Not the year.
Yeah,
Who's
he
running
retore.
that off?
He retore his Achilles.
Browns are one of the few teams I look at it and I go, you know what, man, I think I could be a GM.
You know,
Yeah.
and you know what though? Like
they feel confident to do it.
they were on the right track when they had Baker. And
Yeah.
he had one down season and they just threw him to the dogs and were like, pun intended. And all of a sudden they're like, bring in Deshaun Watson. And it was like, whoa, what are you doing? Like he had one down season. I mean, I think he even had the Browns in the playoffs.
Was that the Freddie Kitchens year?
Might have been.
I think so.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's just like I said, I look at that front office and I'm like, the four of us can sit there and put together a better team. We might not make it to the playoffs, but hell, man, we'll be exciting. We're not going to be sitting there like offering Deshaun Watson crazy money. Like, hey man, I know you like doing inappropriate things with massage therapists and you know, you might have shown some things and done some things you shouldn't have done, but here's a stack of cash. You know what I mean? Like
right.
Houston was like, is this a prank? Like, no.
Yeah.
Let's do it. Let's do it.
I did like their trade though. I mean, I think they should have went with Hunter. You know, I'm not really a big Hunter fan, but that's another conversation. But like to get what they did in return, I mean, they took all of Jacksonville's round twos, and they get their first pick next year.
Mm-hmm.
And there's a good chance that pick's going to be pretty high, right? So, like, because I'm not really sold on Jacksonville. So I did like that as much as they caught shit that night saying, "What are you doing, Browns? You got the number 2 pick. You can get it." It is kind of nice because now, once again, I think they're gonna. I hope they're on the way to figuring out how to get out of this hole. But God, to get in that hole right now, man, it's pretty ugly.
It's like guaranteed money, man.
It's an ugly
they just
hole.
dropped that part. They would just cut his ass and keep it moving, man. But
yeah, they should. I went with my not that it's not a hate on the player. I think the player's good. I just didn't like. I thought the spot that they were in, they could have got something out of the spot that they were in. Meaning, I thought they could have traded back a couple times. And I'm going with the Dolphins pick of Kenneth Grant at 13 overall. Where it's like, don't get me wrong, you lost, what is it, Wilkins to us, right? So you need another interior defensive lineman. And the guy's good. He's a house beast. But I still think they could have got him a little later and might have got a little bit more draft capital because they ended up trading with the Raiders in the second round to come up and get an offensive lineman, which what I really thought, I thought you take the best offensive lineman available with all the negative attention about Tua. Don't get me wrong, I think they signed a couple offensive linemen in the offseason, but draft the freaking kid out of North Dakota State, you know, or where, but like, I don't know. I just thought they could have done better with their position because I think a team, there had to be a phone call at that point from a team that said, hey, let's go up and get Tyler Warren because he was still on the board.
Right.
And once again, I know it might not have been a need, then take Tyler Warren. He's gonna be a difference maker for your team, and down there in Miami, just get a guy like that. Now you got a tight end to run underneath.
That they run. We all agree he's like the most athletic tight end. So
exactly,
it's like,
and he's a Shanahan guy loves, and it's Shanahan style offense. So it's like, why would you not take him? So I didn't like that pick. If I was a Dolphins fan, I would have been like, okay, cool. We got an interior guy. I know they're important, but I just didn't think a big difference maker.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that's a coach that is 1,000% on the hot seat this year.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah, McDaniel for sure. So you guys are like soft tossing me transitions here. So Trent, my my biggest reach was the North Dakota State offensive lineman that Seattle took,
No
Gray
way.
Zabel. So I just think that there were better guys out there than him, and I know that North Dakota State does not have a great first round draft history. Looking at Trey Lance, looking at Carl Wentz.
Well,
I don't know. I think it's a stretch, and I'm not saying he's a bad player. I just think that there was other guys out there that they could have went with the pick that they did. I even like the guy from Washington better than him, Connerly guy that Washington ended up taking.
I'm so biased though.
So
North Dakota State's offense.
I
love
know. Like I
their
said,
offense.
I just thought
power football, baby.
It's a reach. It's a reach. That's it. I'm not saying he's bad. I just think there was other guys that were better. So that was my pick.
No.
All right. Now we got team stuff, so we can kind of just quickly rattle these off. You guys want to start with best or worst?
Let's do worst.
Worst.
Yeah.
All right. All right. Let's go.
Thankfully.
All right. Worst draft. Trent, go with worst draft. Who you got?
Gosh, I'm gonna catch some shit for this. Was hard for me, all three. I'm just going Jacksonville.
Okay.
Don't get me wrong. I know. I don't know. Maybe I missed something. Like, I know Travis Hunter is a freak playing offense, defense, but I think that's where they're going to run into a little bit of trouble, where they're going to try to make him just offense. You can kind of sense it in the interviews of like the coach is like, yeah, he's going to play offense, but we know he wants to play both. So they keep saying the right thing to try to keep the new star happy.
Yeah.
It was the right move for the team because you need somebody to like, get their attention again. But
bring the fans back.
Yeah, but I don't know. I didn't like that they had to give up their first round pick the next year too.
Right.
It's a pretty big investment.
That's the thing. If you're going to trade up for him, why aren't you going to play him on both sides for the fans? Right.
Right.
Yeah.
In London when they become the London Jaguars. Just kidding.
Yeah.
All right, Kev. Who's worst draft?
For me, I picked Minnesota. I wasn't sold on what they. Plus, I think they had the least number of picks in this draft. I think they only had 5.
Yeah.
It just felt like some of their like Felton. I didn't really understand Felton.
Mm-hmm.
I thought that was kind of a reach. I mean, I know it helps Justin Jefferson and JJ McCarthy a little bit, but it just kind of felt like they were reaching throughout all 3 days of the draft because they had such few picks.
Mm-hmm.
And I just not necessarily sold on the guys they got.
It's almost like panic picks. It's like we only have 5. Who
right,
can we get?
Like we got to get Felton now because we're not going to have another pick until X, and he's not going to be there then.
Right. And we don't have anything to trade anyway, so it's like unless it's a future draft. Yeah, that's a good point. Steve, who you got worst draft?
I was stuck between two teams, the Saints and the Bengals. First the Saints. I do like their first round draft pick. No bias whatsoever. Kelvin Banks. But after that, I mean, Tyler Show, like, and I saw his name come up. I was like, what the they're already signaling, like, if I was a fan, they're already signaling to me like, hey, by the way, we're gonna be bad. So sorry. Like there's no what is he, 26?
Yeah, he's older than the rookie quarterbacks last year.
Yeah, and I'm not saying like he's gonna be like dog water and just not, good, but I don't know. I don't know. But the Bengals, like Shamar Stewart, I see the potential, but it might take some time for him to like be that NFL player guy they want him to be. So, and like we already discussed earlier, I mean, it's just some questionable picks from them when they could address some other things. So those are two teams I was looking at. But yeah, Saints definitely on the top for me. That Tyler Show pick, especially you need a quarterback, and then you see like Dylan Brooks getting picked, and like Tyler Show. What did Tyler Show do this year?
He wasn't even a name that was really like floated out there a whole lot.
I mean, he had a good game against Notre Dame.
Right.
Like
But
that's
I'm saying, like,
pretty much what they
like
say
going
when
up
they
to the
talk about him.
draft. Right.
So
Right. He had one good game.
yeah. I mean, it isn't like he played like awful, but it was just like, yeah, he had a great game against Notre Dame. They made it to the national championship, and it's like, oh, that's what you're selling me on.
Right.
Or I could take the guy from Oregon who, lost how many games? Like 2 games this season,
Right.
and made it to the playoffs. I don't know.
Yeah.
It's just
No, that's good. My worst draft was the Panthers. And not even necessarily because of the guys that they picked. It just seemed scatterbrained. Like it just seemed like turn a fire hose on and let's just figure out who the hell we're gonna pick, And that was my biggest thing was for picking them. But like I do think Ted McMillan will be good. I mean, they even got Trevor Etienne round 4 as a running back, but it just seemed, I don't know, like looking at what they addressed, I don't feel like they solved any issues. You know what I mean? It's like you have a team with here's our needs, here's this, that, the other thing. If you're not getting best available, I just feel like they just were like, let's pick him.
How many games did they win last year? 6, 5?
I don't think it was that many.
Like, do you see them getting to 7 wins? It's like, do you?
No.
Yeah,
I see them at like 5 or 6 this year.
Yeah, like I don't.
And they'll still
in a shitty division.
They'll be in the hunt for the playoffs because
that's what I mean. Like it's still a shitty division.
Yeah.
All right. So mediocre draft. I don't know. I was kind of thinking along the lines of like, not even just who they drafted, but just like teams that really didn't get any better, but also didn't get any worse. I'll just kind of, because Steve, you already really talked about them. I thought the Bengals were that for me. Like, I don't think they were. I think, I looked at the edge pick, and I know we talked a little bit about it earlier, but like with Stewart, what are you going to do with Hendrickson? Like, if you have Stewart and Hendrickson, okay. Like, I could see that. But again, it goes back to the Bengals. Like, what are you doing? Like, sign Hendrickson. You got Shamar Stewart, and now you could have 2 guys now that can actually play good football interior or defensive line. So I don't think they got better. I don't think they got worse. I just feel like the Bengals are like, hey, we're not going to really change a whole lot, but we have Joe Burrow and we have Jamar Chase. We have, it's like, right. And they're always just like, I don't know. Joe Burrow's running for his life every single game.
Yeah,
I don't know.
Offensive lineman, but
yeah, that's what I'm saying. So I don't feel like they got worse, but I don't feel like they got any better to a point where you're like, hey, watch the Bengals this year. So that's my analysis.
Yeah. I'm staying in that state. I'm picking Cleveland.
Basic.
Yeah, before you go, I had to correct myself. I call him Dylan Brooks, by the way. I mean Dylan Gabriel. Sorry. It was bothering me, and I said it, and I was like, shit.
I think I knew who you meant, though. Like, I just ran with it.
I never knew what I meant, but I was like,
there's
going to be some dude listening, and he's going to be like, oh, F this guy. Who doesn't even know the guy. Like, I know who he is, all right?
I'm not gonna,
I don't have the respect.
Dylan Brooks, and he hates Hawaiians.
Yeah, right.
I think Dylan Brooks.
Never listen to this podcast again.
Sorry to all the Samoan listeners.
I'm pretty sure Dylan Brooks is Hawaiian too. So
he did play at Oregon.
Oh, it makes sense.
I mean, there's connections there. Anyway, I'm staying in the state of Ohio. I think Cleveland, mediocre to me. Like you said, I don't think they got better, but I don't think they got worse. I do like the duo running backs they picked up in Junkins and Sampson, but I'm not necessarily sold on their first 2, Graham and Swishinger. I don't necessarily see what everybody else sees in those. And then obviously like their whole quarterback situation, like what are we doing there? So yeah, right. They're my mediocre pick.
Yeah, that's good.
I'll kind of
agree. You don't agree with Kuiper's A+ then?
Yeah. No.
I had my worst was down between my mediocre and my bad. Minnesota was the other one. One, I looked at how few of draft picks they had, so you would hope that they would nail those.
Right.
I didn't think they did. I thought I thought in reality, I thought they were going to take something for defensive back wise, or if you're in that position, just take the best defensive player possible. And the receiver was their second pick, correct?
Yeah.
And I also was just like, why? Like, why not once again pick defense, pick best guy on defense to maybe you're going to get a hit on that guy at that point. 'Cause when I know what you're saying to help Jefferson, but I don't know. I felt like they needed more defensively than to help them offensively. But a lot is going to ride on how or who is stepping up at quarterback because it's going to be. I think it's got to be the rookie. I mean, I know they traded for Howell from Seattle, the UNC guy, but yikes! I don't know. I feel bad for the Vikings because it's weird. I know Trey would totally never say that, but I feel like now it's been like 2 out of the past 3 years they've been like a 2-loss team, but they feel like the biggest frauds of a 2-loss team, and
All
it's
the
they
time.
get in the and it's like it's weird because then you're like I don't know. I don't get it. Like I totally expected them to suck this past year. I
Mhm.
think I started out wagering against them quite often. I'm like, okay, just not going to touch them because they just they were unbeatable. And I don't know. It's a weird franchise
Yeah.
to figure out.
Steve.
Once again, I had I was deciding between Saints and Bengals, but another team that kind of jumped out to me in that mid range, not bad, but kind of what are you doing? Maybe it's the like where they drafted was I kind of look at the Lions draft
Mhm.
picks. Trading up to get Isaac Tesla, um, decent wide receiver, but do you trade up to get him?
Right.
And like, what are you expecting from that? But yeah, that's where I'm at. But other than that, was like Saints and Bengals. Just trying to figure out where to put them. But in Browns,
Yeah.
I was thinking about mediocre, but Kev already said that one. So
All right. Last one here. Best draft.
let's let Trent start this one off because I
Okay.
think we have the same one.
I so I literally have them. I have them typed down, but then I also was like, I said they're gonna give me shit because I've had Genty for like 5 of the 9 things that we're talking about. But I'm gonna go different route. Okay, I'm gonna go with my other team, Tyler,
The Ravens.
the Ravens. I'm gonna go the Ravens. We hit on it a little bit early on to get Malachi Starks, safety from Georgia. You put him there with Hamilton. You get Mike Green out of Marshall, who I think is my sleeper. You then draft offensive lineman, then you draft linebacker, then you draft offensive lineman, then you draft another defensive back, and then another little rub and tug guy besides Deshaun Watson.
Hold on.
Uh, you
Rub
get
and tug.
you draft a kicker to replace Kyle Tucker. I mean
So
Tucker.
you,
So
so you did
um,
say rub and tug. Okay.
yeah. So
One of the greatest Texas Longhorn kickers, Justin Tucker. Just throw that out
yeah,
there.
and he's
Nothing wrong
gonna.
with the extra little rub down. See, I'm
Yeah.
a hypocrite. I'm a hypocrite.
Hey.
Call me a hypocrite. It's bad when Deshaun does it. It's okay when
Yeah.
Justin does it.
Yeah. But I loved what they did because I think I always feel they could always use like a legit proven receiver, but they have good enough receivers for Lamar. And to be quite honest with you, you get another year of Lamar and Derrick Henry in the backfield together. I just think that's an incredible combination for that team, and that sucks for whoever has to play them 2 times a year. But I thought they were very weak defensively in the secondary early last year. They did get better once they adjusted, and I think they let Hamilton play a little bit more of a true safety position. And now they knew what they needed, and I felt like they got it. So
That's a good point. Steve, we got.
I went with the Las Vegas Raiders. 11 draft picks this year. I was kind of worried. I was like, what are we gonna do with 11? We're gonna pick the right guys. We addressed issues with our running back position with getting Aston Genty. That was mentioned many times in this podcast. And then also we addressed the wide receiver.
Yes.
Jack Beck from TCU.
I like that pick.
Yeah, I mean, I apologize for the slander I yelled at you when you were initially drafted. I went kind of hard, and then I found out more of his story, and I was like, you know what, man, you gotta learn more about a guy before you just start slandering him and what he's going through. So, yeah, man, and then getting Tommy Malott, Mullet.
No, what? Yeah.
I liked what they did, man, and I was just AFC West is going to be tough. I think we take steps in the right directions, but everyone else did get better. Chargers got better, Broncos got better, Chiefs.
Yeah.
Let's hope the Chiefs fall off. Let's hope this.
Let's hope.
This is.
Yeah.
Let's hope this fall off is coming. I'm looking forward to it, and I just want to see. I want to see the Raiders make the playoffs. That's what I want to see this year.
Dante Thornton Jr., a Tennessee Volunteer himself, 6'4", 4.3 speed at receiver. It's another big time hit. I think it's gonna be great for us.
I mean, Vols know how to play wide receiver. Look at Juwan Jennings.
And I just had to throw this thing because this name caught my attention right away. The fact that they drafted a defensive tackle named Tonka, like what a cool ass name. Like that's a cool ass name.
That's a football name.
Yeah.
Who you got, Kev?
So I was going to go with the Ravens, but since Trent already said them, I'll go with another team I was thinking about, which is the Titans. The reason why I picked the Ravens initially over the Titans was because, as I stated earlier, I was surprised about the wide receiver pick, Dyke, when they did. But outside of that, like you potentially have 5 franchise players from this draft, in my opinion. Cam Ward, Gunnar Helm. You still got Alec Manor, even though you should have picked him sooner. And then on defense, you got Oladejo and Winston, the safety from Penn State, who was a stud. So you potentially got some really good building blocks for the future here for that team. So hopefully they improve, and we'll see how those guys do.
Love that Gunnar Helm pick.
Think about how close they've been, like recently, like with Vrabel when he was there, like with Tannehill and stuff. Like they were so close a couple times, but Derrick Henry and everything. It's like hopefully they can turn it around. I went with the Giants as a team that had the best draft, in my opinion. I love the fact that they got Abdul Carter. I think Abdul Carter, you could make the argument that he is the best player in the draft, NFL ready, all the things. He's gonna be a stud. I also love the fact that they traded back in to get Jackson Dart. Seeing the quarterback room there with Jameis Winston, Tommy Cutlets, and Russell Wilson. I think Jackson Dart, definitely has a place in there to at least learn. I don't think he's going to start right away, which I don't think is a bad thing for Jackson Dart, because you do have some guys that have wins under their belt. I mean, Russell Wilson's a Super Bowl quarterback. Jameis Winston knows how to win games. So we'll see. But then I still think my favorite pick of the draft was Cam Scatterbo in the 4th round. The fact that they were able to get him, I mean, if you guys remember, his name just slipped my mind. Running back, he was like 6'4", like 260 for the Giants. Brandon Jacobs. I wanted to say Tyrone Wheatley, but I knew that wasn't it. But yeah, Brandon Jacobs.
That was Raider.
But Brandon Jacobs, I think he just has that like bowling ball mentality. I mean, we talked about him running the telephone poles. Like I think he can actually make a big difference and could be exciting. I think they have some good blocks there. So, and they got some, they got some linemen, tight end.
Scatterbo just seems like just a football guy. Like
he is.
I don't care about anything else in the world. I just play football because I love playing football and I want to get hit and I love hitting and those guys are important in locker rooms and everything else, man. It's just things that aren't. Go ahead.
It's like a Fred Warner mentality.
Yeah, it's
Like
just
they
things that
just
aren't
won through a
stats.
wall. Yeah.
Right.
Yep. I like it. All
I
right.
like,
Anything else?
Jackson Dart. Oh, sorry about that, man.
No, go ahead. No, go ahead. Go ahead.
Keep talking over you, Tyler. My bad.
No, you're fine. Go ahead. What were you saying?
But Jackson Dart, I know we really didn't touch much on Jackson Dart, but I like the pick. I was high on Jackson Dart during the season with Ole Miss. The only thing that worried me about him was, funny enough, I watched his quarterback room with John Gruden. I don't know if you guys saw
Yeah.
that. He's like,
Yeah.
all right, man. So you're at the line of scrimmage right now. All right, so just call it how you call it the line of scrimmage, man. He just claps. He goes, okay. So what do you do? He's like, that's it. He goes, you don't throw a count out or anything like this. Yeah. He goes, all right, then try to get me off sides. What are you gonna do? He's like, all right. All right. So like he was running a college offense. And that's why it's good that won't start right away. He has to sit behind Jameis Winston and Russ. And I think having Jameis there, Jameis doesn't seem like the guy who's like threatened because the other team's got this younger guy sitting there. He's just like, yo, man, I've been in your spot. I'm here to. I can. It's funny enough. Jameis Winston might turn out to be like a good quarterbacks coach or something. Just something coach wise. I'm not a head coach. I don't see him as a head coach, but he could be a guy who is on the sideline somewhere on a Sunday, wearing a headset, being an assistant coach somewhere. But it's. I think that's a good room for him to be in. I think once he gets the NFL game, I do think he'll be a legit starter.
Yeah. It'll be. I could I could see Jameis Winston. I could see him taking Tony Romo's job. Hopefully.
Oh goodness.
I don't know about play-by-play or color commentary, but he'd definitely be a sideline guy.
He would be so entertaining.
He would be a great sideline guy. He could do the promos leading up to the game.
Or hell, put him on the Amazon Prime show.
Oh yeah.
You know what I mean?
Definitely.
Like I feel like they're kind of goofy. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's like they have fun. I feel like he could be on that show.
Yeah, he's got all the personality in the world, man. So he definitely good. I think he's a good locker room guy for New York, especially just after the season they just had. So you know how New York fans get with like those. I wouldn't say, I don't know, polarizing is the best description, but like a character.
Yeah.
And if Russ ain't working out and it is too soon for Jackson Dart, I don't know. New York fans might be saying like, yo, we want Jameis.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely.
If Jameis wins one game for the Giants, oh my God.
Yep, it's over.
Oh gosh.
All right. Anything else football wise? Or you guys want to talk horses real quick? All right. We'll do horses real quick here. We'll pick winners. We'll pick a winner. We'll pick a surprise winner, and we'll pick a trifecta box, which is where you just pick the three horses that are going to finish in the top three in any order. So just some background here. 1.25 mile race. It's a dirt track. The last three winners, closing odds, have been 18-1, 15-1, and 80-1. Just so we're aware of that stuff, because I know a lot of people, favorites. However, before that, 2014 to 2018, the favorite has won the Kentucky Derby. So just the last three has been a little bit wonky, I guess, if you will. But I don't know if you guys want me to just kind of get into the races, or if you guys want to just do picks right away. I mean, I kind of have analysis of my picks, but not analysis, but like just some overall.
You're gonna do a deeper dive than the three of us, man. So I think the three of us should go. That we you're the icing on the cake, man. You're the icing on the cake.
All right, go ahead. 20 horses. So and Rodriguez did drop out as of last night. So just to kind of clear the air with that. Go ahead.
Is there a reason why Rodriguez is out?
It was a foot bruise, is what Bob Baffert had said. So
gallivanting around the stable. I don't know. Is that what they say? I don't know.
Sounds good. I like it.
So as a novice Kentucky Derby bettor, so I probably just resonate with a good amount of listeners here. We just bet this one race. We have fun with it. We bet, we go off of names. Looking at the odds here, there's one horse that caught my eye, and it's 20-1 odds. Is Tiztastic.
Uh-huh.
Tiztastic. Tiztastic. Do I know much about this horse? No, man. But he's gonna be wearing the number 14, and that's higher than 13. So let's rock and
I love it.
let's rock and roll.
I love it. That's awesome. All right, so Tiztastic. That you said that's your winner.
Yep, that's my winner.
You just want to knock them all out, and then we'll just kind of each knock
Let's
our
do
own
it.
bets
Yeah,
out.
surprise
All right, go
winner. I can't do journalism because he's 3-1, so that's a favorite. But you know what? Can't do that. Let's do Flying Mohawk.
Ooh,
Shout out
okay.
to everyone who's bald, who's listening. Little envy. Yeah, it's a little envy here. So something I can't grow, Flying Mohawk. So that'll be a nice surprise winner here.
I like it. Flying Mohawk. Is he 31?
Yeah, he's 30-1.
Okay.
And trifecta.
All right. And then, trifecta box.
All right, trifecta box. We're gonna go journalism.
Okay.
We're gonna go Tiztastic.
Okay.
He likes to be called Jizztastic. I know a lot of you guys don't know that. That's a little inside track. That's inside track for you guys.
Yeah. Jizz on the tiz.
Yep, Jizz on the Tiz, man.
Cover the tiz and jizz.
I'm selling them. I know there's gonna be some people like, yo, I gotta do it. Come on. You're around your friends, your bet got money on it. They're like, who you bet on, man? Jizz on the Tiz. They're like, what?
That's
and then you're
right.
gonna sound like you know horses because you have once you establish a nickname, people don't question that. Especially because no one else
you're like
knows
there.
what the hell you're talking about. You know what I mean? Like, yeah, man.
Yep.
Like, got it. And
3 mint juleps in. Jizz on the tiz. That's right.
And I'll go. Who's the guy who's back after 3 years?
Bob Baffert.
Who's his horse?
His horse
He's
is Citizen Bull.
Yep, throw that as my third.
I like it.
If you ain't cheating, you ain't trying.
Damn right.
Let's finish in the top 3, boys.
Sweet. All right. Kev, go ahead.
All right, my winner is Sovereignty.
Okay.
Just it seems like a name that's just going to own things, right?
Mm-hmm.
My long shot. Shout out to Tiztastic.
Jizz on the tiz.
Here's on the Tiz, baby.
And then my trifecta is going to be Sovereignty, the Luxor Cafe, and Mr. El Grande.
I like it. All right. Trent, who you got?
Ty, what's the odd? Did you put a limit on the odds for a long shot?
I just said they had to be double digits, and at this point, there's only 2 horses that are single digits, so pretty much anybody.
Yeah. Okay. God damn. I like 2 that are very close. I guess I'm gonna make my winner. Then I'm gonna make my winner Sandman. He's gonna put them all to sleep. You know what I'm saying? Enter Sandman to the winner's circle. And then I'm gonna go. My long shot is I've got 20-1 odds. I got Citizen Bull. I'm rolling with Bob. Juice those horses, Bob. They all end up in glue sticks, anyways. You know,
They're just taking creatine,
just
right?
kidding.
Like Mark McGwire.
Sorry, anybody that's offended by the glue comment. I apologize.
Well, hell, if he wins it, his life is set. He's just knocking up other horses. That's it.
Yep. He's just tasking everywhere. Yeah. And then I'm going what else do we have, Ty?
Trifecta box, yeah.
Trifecta box. I'm going journalism, the favorite. I'm going Sandman, and give me Citizen Bull.
Okay. All right. All right. So I had to change mine a little bit. I did have Rodriguez in my trifecta box as a Bob Baffert horse. So I'm not going to get into a ton of details here, but I did learn a couple things doing some research. They have 4 categories of horses. You have front runners, stalkers, pressers, and closers. Front runners are the ones that go out in the front of the mix right away. Stalkers are the ones that kind of that second route of horses, and then pressers are third. Closers are the ones that kind of weave through at the end, or make it through the mess kind of thing. So, and they did have. I found some research on like who's what and all this stuff. So, so right now I'll start off my winner. Not to get too boring, I do think Journalism is going to win. Journalism is considered a stalker running style. Odds are 3-1. He's got a 3-race win. He is able to overcome trouble well, hence the stalker aspect of it. So if he kind of sits back in that second pack of horses, I think near the end, I think you'll see him kind of pull away. Which I feel like has been kind of the Kentucky Derby the last couple of years. So even though he's a favorite, I think you'll see him pull on at the end. So Journalism, my favorite. My long shot winner is Luxor Cafe. So he is actually a colt of American Pharaoh, who won it in 2015. He's considered a closer running style. So he's one of those that you could really kind of see pick it up there at the end. He also has won 4 straight races in Japan. So he's, I think right now, he's 15-1 odds. So he's my long shot winner. My trifecta box, like I said, I did have Rodriguez, so I had to change that out. My trifecta box, I'm going with Journalism. I am going with Sovereignty, who, just to kind of give a little background on Sovereignty, but needs kind of a close, clean area to kind of get forward with stuff. So if it's a messy race, there's 20 horses, so it could get messy. He does need it kind of, open, but he is also closer running style. So if he can kind of get to the inside there and sneak past some guys. So I'm going, Journalism, Sovereignty, and then I'm going to go with Burnham Square, who is my third one here in the trifecta box. He's considered a presser, so he's in that third pack. He has a Churchill Downs experience in the one maiden race, and so he's actually being ridden by Brian. I can't see his last name. He's the same jockey that won it last year. So some people might kind of pick against him, but I have him at least finishing in that top 3. So Journalism, 8 post, 18 post, Sovereignty, and then 9 Burnham Square is my pick.
Tyler, do they have anything about how the weather's going to be? Is it going to be a muddy track? Is it going to be kind of dry? It doesn't change what I'm picking. I'm just curious, though.
It's a good question. I mean, obviously with dirt, it can get muddy. I haven't seen anything weather-wise.
Forecast, at least in our area, we haven't looked at the forecast in Kentucky, but I'm only seeing chance of rain, like chance of like a passing storm. So I don't know if that's going to hold.
Yeah, I mean, we're getting rain all weekend. This weekend.
Yeah. I don't know what it's going to be like there.
Okay, so it does say projected rain and possible storms, chance of showers and thunderstorms before 8 a.m., and then more showers between 8 and 2. Then thunderstorms, possibility 50% chance after 2 p.m. So possibility of rain.
Okay.
Which definitely, I mean, that could change a lot of things. I mean, look at that. What one horse I said that needs kind of a clean race. Not really fuck him up.
Was that Sovereignty? I think you said needed clean or
yes. Yep. Needs a clean trip. Even though he's a closer, which kind of I don't know.
Maybe he needs to be kind of free of other horses versus it being rainy or muddy or something.
Yeah. No, I know. Grande was another one I have, just kind of a horse to watch. Grande's 20-1. He's trained by a guy named Todd Pletcher, who has some success with horses, but he's a front runner horse. And then he also, I think, got second in the Woods. Was it the Woodman race? So he's another one to keep an eye on if you want to kind of sprinkle somewhere. Is Grande. I think, Kev, you picked him, didn't you?
Yep, trifecta.
Yeah. So Yeah, that's my Kentucky Derby analysis.
I'm not gonna lie, that little bit of tidbit of was it Luxor Cafe being a cult from American Pharaoh? That's caught my attention. So I'm gonna
Mhm.
be messing around with that.
He's also in my trifecta.
Mm.
Yep. I believe he is Japanese horse. No, I'm just I
Not Hawaiian. I was just gonna
Lock him in.
say.
the other thing, this is kind of weird tidbit too, is the other thing is not a lot of, I believe it was gray horses. I think there's only been 3 gray horses that have ever won the Kentucky Derby. So that's kind of
It's my favorite
something
color horse.
I stayed away from. But some wild stuff.
Yeah, man, I can't wait. I'm gonna fire up the Casey Musgrave, and I'm just gonna listen to watch the race, man.
Get some bourbon.
It's a bourbon drinking kind of day.
Hell yeah.
Oh, absolutely, absolutely.
All right. Anything else, guys?
That's it, man. It's been great.
All right. Appreciate everybody coming on. Happy Friday. Whew. What a week. Whew. It's been a week. But yeah, enjoy the Derby. See you next week.